Hey everybody, hey, it's Ryan here from Android Coliseum. Today was the day, or yesterday, depends on when I get to post this video, was that the TCL 10 Pro and the 10L were available to purchase. Now, officially going to be available, I think, on the 10th is when you can actually pick it up and buy, but eventually you could purchase it today. Now, TCL is a brand you may have been aware of in the past as Alcatel. They've made some of the brand, stuff like the BlackBerry devices. They've made a bunch of phones in the past, but this is the first time I think really getting to see TCL as a brand on its own, at least in Canada, that as far as I've been aware of. And this is a brand that does a lot of TVs. They do a lot of things out there, and they do them well, just a little bit cheaper than probably the brands you may be aware of. So this is the Pro line, and I gotta say, this Pro line has me pretty impressed, especially when you consider this is under $700 to buy outright. $700, and you get pretty near what flagship quality specs are out there. So just want to show you what's in the box if you buy it as well. So here it talks about it being a 6.5-inch screen. It's not quad HD. It's got the curved glass. It's got HDR10, so it's actually really nice. Really high quality camera, big specs in terms of space and RAM, and my favorite, a big battery in it, right? So we go in it. Now, for under $700, you're not going to expect to find a lot in here. There's the manual. Sometimes they put a case in here. Did they put a case in here? No, they didn't put a case in there. No case. Huawei does that usually. We got a cable, and we got a charger. That is it. All right? There's no fancy frills, no thingamabobby doers. This is it in the box. You get what you see. Okay, so a 6.5-inch screen. Let's see how it compares to the Pixel wise. You know, that's a pretty decent size for a screen. That fits my hand nicely. And let's turn it on. Just power it up. There we go. While it's powering up, I like the little animation it gives here in a second here. Just give you some of the details. It has like an assistant key on the side here that you can sort of hotkey it to a bunch of different things. We have power and volume as per normal. Is it doing it? No. And we have a headphone jack. Ooh, we have a headphone jack. And we have an infrared port. And we have USB-C on the bottom. And then there's your SIM tray. Now, the neatest thing I thought about this first off is that it's got a fingerprint sensor in the glass. And I gotta say, it's actually worked out quite well for me. It actually hasn't been too bad versus some of the other brands I've tried out there that are not so good. Plus, it also is in a right spot where I think it should be. You know, the Huawei I found is just a little bit too high. The Samsung, I could never work quite as well. This, oh, well, I need to put my password in because I just booted it up. That was a pretty good start. What does it need to do? Whatever. So first off, it's a pretty nice looking screen. Actually, I kind of like the screen. It's not quad HD display, which I'm kind of spoiled on. It's not the 90 hertz display either, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good depth. The HDR really helps with that, giving you a full gamut of the pictures. Yeah, we're gonna do that later. The curved screen, I love that sort of curved, roll over kind of effect as things kind of slide off the edge. We have Google there. We can swipe up for our apps. The apps are a little bit different that I like. It sort of coordinates them into groups for you, but you can, just sort them by name if you want. So I don't know how it's really picking out which one is which. Swipe down here. We have, standard, nothing really out of the blue here. Built-in screen recorder mode, which is kind of nice to have those kind of features. There is a smart key feature we can set to do different things. So single press, double press, or long press. That's neat. Like you have a wide array of options there. We have their own built-in music and video apps. Yeah, so there's things in here that are, maybe redundant if you're going to go all Google. But what's nice is that it's Google. It's not like the P40 where it's not Google, and that's a pain in the butt. But I've tried out PUBG Mobile. It's actually held up pretty well for playing around. Yeah, I kind of think what else would be in there that we'd want to play around with. Tools. It's got a radio. Oh, there you go. You can use headphones for the radio. Do we have anything for the infrared thing? I didn't notice that there was any sort of TV remote. There we go. Infrared remote. And you can just set up as a universal remote. How cool is that? So I'll have a full review on this in a little bit. I'm really looking forward to the fact that, that I can play around with a long battery. Pretty decent. Now this is like a lower end Snapdragon processor, but it handled pretty well on the PUBG that I did. Big battery, fairly decent performance, but that spider eyes of cameras is pretty neat to me. It's got a pretty high 64 megapixel camera. It's got a macro camera lens, which is great for my spiders I have at my work. I'd love to take some nice macros of those guys. And then it's got an ultra wide and some others for just depth or whatever. So I'll play around with those and tell you what I think about it. But fingerprint sensor in the screen for under $700 is a pretty good deal. All right, that's my quick impression of it so far. I hope to have a full review in the next little while. If you have any questions, you guys know where to reach me. Okay, thanks so much.